everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'd like to show you how I made this card. It's called a Three Peaks card. Now, I've seen a couple of templates for it. One from a lady named Lavon Schwerdman, Lavon Schwerdman and Ellie Vad Aker, and also from Sam from Mixed Up Crafts. And none of them except for Sam's shows you this thing at the back, this brace. So I actually made mine first the way I saw the others done, and decided that the one with the brace sits up so much nicer. Otherwise it flops around and it just doesn't go anywhere. Now, to me, this is a very different card. You can actually pull that out the way so that you can actually get in here to write. So it's not an issue having this on here at all. So this is the card we're going to make. If this fits into a 5.5 inch, would make it 6 inches and it will fit in perfectly because it's just over 5.5 inches high. But it's about between a 5.5 inch to a 6 inch square envelope when it lays flat. But once you stand it up, it's just very, very effective. I mean, I'll just pop it on that angle there so you can actually see it better. It's just very, very effective, and I liked it, and I thought it was a bit different. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at this one too. I'm not sure whether or not too many people will like it, but I thought it was nice, and I really wanted to give this one a go. So thanks to Sam for the extra bit of info on this brace at the back. And thanks to everyone else, that Ellie Van Acker and Lavon Schwerdman, I think it is. So, for their tutorials, they were all different sizes. And so, I've done mine similar sizing to what Sam has done hers. Except that I've put layers on mine. So, my tutorial will have layers for here, and no layers for in here, and layers for in the back here too. So let's pop that one on the side and let me show you what you need. I'm using retired paper. This was all out of the celebration, so I thought I'd just use that up, and I'm using the Here's to Strong Women, and I'm going to be You Deserve a Whole Sheet of Gold Stars, and I'm going to use the stars as well, and Here's to Two Strong Women to go on the front. So that's what's going on the front. So let me show you what you need. Let me get my piece of paper with all the information on it. Okay, you need a main card which measures 10 by 7, and then for my insert you'll need a piece that is 4.5 inches square and another piece that is 4 inches square. I know that seems really strange, but when you cut it you'll understand why. My brace is 1 inch wide by 8 inches long. Now, let me bring my card in so I can show you again. This is section 1, section 2, section 3. So, section 1, you will need a piece of card that is 4.5 squared and a piece of designer series paper that is 4 inches square. Section 2, we're just using designer series paper only, so this piece needs to be 1 7/8 by 6 1/8. Section 3, you will need a piece of card that measures 2 3/4 by 6 1/8, and 2 pieces, which I've already cut one out of, because you need to put them opposite to each other like this so that you get your pattern the right way. 2 pieces that measure 2 1/4 by 5 5/8. Now, if you're doing a little pop-up piece on the front here, on the front here, you will need a piece of card that measures 3/4 to 1 inch wide long, sorry, not long, no, wide, and 3 inches long. Okay, so, and then I have my little saying here for front, and I haven't got any jewels or anything because I don't actually know how it's going to go at this stage. So let's pop my card over here. You will need a ruler and a pencil and your stylus. So we're going to start with our main piece of card, and I'll need my other instructions now, and we are going to use our pencil and ruler, and we're going to mark from the bottom of the card up 5 inches, and we're just going to put a little mark. I've got a bit of rubbish on there, and then from the other side we're going to do exactly the same thing, and we're going to make another 5-inch mark, and then we're going to draw a line across at that 5-inch mark. Okay, and then along this line we're then going to measure 2.5 inches in and put a little mark, and the same at this end here. We're going to measure, move that out of the way, move 2.5 inches in and put another little mark there, like so. Okay, once we've done that, we're now going to put our ruler and pencil down for a moment, and we're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score this on the long side at the 5-inch mark, which is the 10-inch side, so that's halfway. Turn my thing around the right way. So we're going to score that. Ooh, did you hear that? That sounds like thunder. Down the middle at the 5-inch mark. We're going to pull this out of here because we're going to use this again in a minute, but we're going to do some hand scoring. Okay, so we're back to our pencil and ruler, and now from this pencil mark that we made here at the 2.5 inches in, we're going to put a line from there up to this middle score line, like so. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side, from that score line up to that middle. Oops, I went a bit over. Doesn't matter if we go a bit over, we can always rub it out afterwards. Okay, so now we've done that, so we've got this house shape piece here. Excuse me. We're going to bring in our ruler again, and now our stylus, and we're going to go from this score line at the bottom up to that 2.5-inch mark there. So we're going to do a score line so that it looks a bit like a kite shape, and we're going to do the same on the other side here. Okay, then we're going to go back to the other side, and we're going to do a score line from there right up to this top edge here, right up to that edge there. And we're going to do exactly the same. I need to put something under this so that it doesn't move. From there up to that one over there. Okay, once we've done that, we are now going to use our scissors, and we're going to cut away this section here at the top. So we're going to pop it on the side, and we're going to cut along that pencil line to the 2.5-inch mark, and then up to the top centre line. Okay, once you've done that, we can then do the same on the other side. So we're going to go down to the 2.5-inch mark, and then along that pencil line that we drew there, and cut that off like so. We have this shape like this now. So what we're going to do is we're going to just get our rubber, a razor, whatever you want to call it, and any pencil lines that are left on here, we're going to remove them. That's why I said don't worry if you had an extra pencil line because you didn't get it quite right the first time. Okay, so that's that part done. Now comes the folding. So I've got a bit of a funny little piece there, just the piece, that's better. Okay, so now we're going to fold this as follows. We're going to fold this down the middle score line, making sure that we are all even on all the four sides. So nice and straight along here and along this one, right down that score line. We're then going to fold back on the next score line, making sure we get right in to that point there. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. We're going to turn it over and we're going to make sure we've got our nice point down here, and we're going to bring that down and give it a good burnish. Then we're going to then move this other one back the other way, keeping that point really nice in that down at the bottom there. And the same on the other side. Bringing that over and making sure that that bottom point is still nice and firm in place. We're going to bring our piece over. Move all the dirt. We're going to give this a really good burnish on all these score lines so that our card, and as you can see, if you stood it up now, it's got a chance of going like this. So I really do think that the brace for the back really works beautifully. Okay, so now we're going to pull this open and we're going to do our pieces for the front of the card. So we've got our pieces here. So we have our first piece, which is section 1, and that's how it will be written on the tutorial. Section 1 is this section, section 2 is these, and section 3 is here. So section 1, we're going to pop that card out of the way, we're going to bring in our trimmer, and we're going to fold, cut, I'll get there in a minute, cut this piece on the diagonal. Now this is where it is good to have a non-directional pattern like mine is here, because it doesn't matter, because we're going to then cut this one on the diagonal as well. Okay, let's pop that over there because I'll come back to that. And then we can glue these pieces together like that. If I'd have used the other side, it would have been not good because there's a directional pattern on the other side. It would have quite easily gone haywire. So once we've got that onto there, we'll pop the other one on the other side. Oh no, oh no. You know what? We're going to play turning the piece of thing over. There we go. Oh dear. Alright, so we've got these two pieces on there. Let's make sure they're nice and down nice and tight onto our layers like so. And we're going to bring in our main card and we're going to pop one in this corner and one in this corner here, like so, without dropping it on there again. Luckily this glue doesn't dry sticky, so if you did do something like that, it's not going to be a problem. Okay, so we've got that one on there. And this one goes in here, like so. It's not a very hard card, it just looks more daunting than it really is. And as you can see, it's starting to come together, but as you can see, it does want to bag in the middle. It just, I don't know, it just seems a little bit loose. Okay, so what we're going to do next is the next layer, a section, is only just designer series paper. So we're going to bring in our scoreboard again, our cutting board again, sorry, and we're going to cut this one from the top right to the bottom left. Okay. And I think I need 2 of these as well, because of the fact that otherwise I'm going to have a pattern like this. So if you're using designer series paper, you're going to need 2 pieces like this. Let me go and get some more designer paper. Luckily, I have some. Otherwise we would have had to change the design. So this is 1 7/8 wide. Oops, get in there nicely. By 6 1/8 long. So 6 1/8 is just there. And then we're going to cut this on the same angle again. Like so. There we go. So we're going to pick 1 of each. Let me see if I've done this correctly. They go together. If I've cut these the wrong one way and one the other, then I've done a pooey-dooey, which I've done. Really not clever of me, is it? Okay, so let's cut 1 more and get it right now. 1 7/8. By 6 1/8. Okay, and as I cut the other one from the top left, top right to the bottom left, as we can see, we need to cut this one the opposite way. I've really done a real pooey bit there, didn't I? Never mind, just goes to prove I'm just as silly as my mum. No, I shouldn't say that. I love my mum. But I can make mistakes just like anybody else. Oh, I don't like that. Can you hear that thunder? Okay, so we have 2 pieces of the same. And what we're going to do is we're now going to make sure that they are the same, because I can now see that they will go together and the 2 pieces that I want showing are facing each other. Don't worry, I will use these up in another project. So I'm now going to use my pencil and my ruler, and I'm going to mark down on the wrong side here, not along this straight edge, but along this angled edge. We're going to mark, let me see, 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. I can see that mark, yes. And then from there I'm going to draw a line from that 1.5 inch mark down to this bottom corner here. Once I've done that, I will then cut that piece away like so. And then I will pop this one on top of this one like so, and cut the other one to match, making sure that I have my two right sides together. If I don't put my two right sides together, it don't work. Okay, so then they are now going into the next section here, which means that this one will go here, and I don't like that thunder, and this one will go here. So we'll glue those into position. Like so. And that one will go in that one there. Just like that. How gorgeous do they look? Okay, then we come on to our section 3 piece, which I knew we were going to need 2 pieces for that one. So I know that I cut that one from the right to the left. So I know that the next one I have to cut from the left to the right. Okay, so this piece here, we can cut either way because it's the same colour on both sides. So we'll get that one cut out of the way first, like so. And then this one, you need to cut one from left to right and one from right to left. So as I've done the other one the other way, we'll do this one this way. And I'll pop that one on the one side. With our straight edges together. I've got the wrong one. Oh, come on, don't tell me I've cut this one the wrong way around as well. I will not be happy. No, I haven't. See that? I didn't have my straight edges together. So now that I've got my straight edges together and right the way down there, I can cut this one off. And this one was marked at 1.5 inches down. So with this piece, you need to measure 1.5 inches down and cut back down into the corner. But I have 2 pieces the same there. And I sound like I'm going a bit batty here. Oh, and we need to do the same on these pieces. So we need to do this, we need to mark these ones at 1 3/4 inches down. And across on an angle. But we need to make sure when we do our designer series paper layers, it's 1.5 inches down. Once we've done that, we can then pop our other one onto that as well, making sure that they're lined up nicely, and cut it to match, like so. If you feel confident, you can always cut the 2 at the same time. I'm not confident today. I've gone really wacky. I don't know what I've dropped on the floor now either. Oh, my bone folder. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our card again. And we're going to place these in here like so. And once we've done that, we'll pop these on here so we know which way around these are going to go. Okay, we know that that's correct, so we'll pop those together. Oh, crap. No, I don't like the thunder. Go away. because if it gets too much I'll end up with my lights going out, and I don't want that. Okay, once we've got those into place we can then glue those onto the front of our card in section 3. Now just thinking while I was putting those together there, that if you were cutting your designer series paper, if you had 2 pieces for these sections, if you put the 2 right sides together, before you cut them from left to right or right to left, you will then have your 2 sections the same. You wouldn't have to worry about messing around like I did. I think I've got a bit of pencil line on that one. Yep, it's gone now. Okay, so that's the front of our card done, and as you can see it is starting to look nice, but it does go wonky. So we're going to then do our brace piece before we do anything else. So we're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score our brace at 1/2 inch, 4 inches and 7.5 inches. Once we've done that, we're going to fold this in half to make sure that it is nice and square, and then fold our other pieces. And I don't like that. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of thunder. Our other 2 pieces will be folded back the opposite way. So we have valley, mountain, valley. We're then going to glue these to the inside of our card so that our valley in the middle matches with the valley in the middle of the card here. So we're going to pop a piece of glue, a bit of glue down this side here, and we will then match up the bottom and the side edge here. Once we've got that in place, we will do the same the other side, and we'll bring this across and we'll match this one up exactly the same. You will see that that will then fold into there really nicely, so that once that is down nice and tight like so, it will stand up so much nicer now. Oh my goodness. I hope you can still hear me over all this rain and everything. And that's how our card is going to stand up really nicely. So now we're going to do our section for inside, and we're going to then cut these on the diagonal from corner to corner. Like so. And I promise you that's the last piece of bit we're doing. So we know that these are going to go in like so, here, along with our piece that's going to go on top like this. So we know that that is the way they are going to go in and for you to write on. So we need to make sure that they're both facing this way, so that the triangles are like facing one another, and we can do our bit of stamping. So I'm going to stamp my stars along the bottom of this one here. piece of scrap so I can go over the edge. I think I'm going to go right the way around. Oops. Okay, that's for that side. My other side says, you deserve a whole sheet of gold stars. So we'll pop that one into the middle of this section. When I can pull that apart, because I'm scared of the thunder, I'm starting to fluster a little bit, which I'm sorry about. And that goes over that side. Okay. They did say, but they did say that it wasn't coming till late tonight. But it's not late tonight now. It's mid-afternoon. So we're going to pop these onto here. And this one onto this side. And even though I did have a bit of a hiccup there in the middle with my cutting, I'm sure you all got the gist of it. And I will make sure that I note that on my tutorial to cut them the opposite way to each other. By doing it this way, putting this in afterwards, you're actually covering up that tab on that end too. If you don't mind the tab showing, that's fine, you can just do it the other way around. It's not an issue for writing, as I say, because you just move it out of the way and the brace will move out of the way really nicely for you to write on. As you see, you can hold that up like that, and there's plenty of space for you to get your pen in there and write. Okay, so now it's just a matter of finishing off the front, and we have this piece and my little saying here, which I'm going to put on the front. I'm not going to put anything more on there because the weather is getting really bad outside, so I'm just getting a little bit worried that I'm going to lose all my power. So we're going to score this piece, and we're going to score it on the long side at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches and 2.5 inches. We're going to fold this as a mountain, valley, valley, mountain. By doing that and giving it a good burnish on both sides, you end up with a piece that looks that shape. Now the whole idea of that is that those two pieces in the middle meet each other. So we're going to then pop some glue on those two tab pieces either side. And work out where you want to put your saying, like is it going to be up top, down the bottom. Then close your card in half, place half of your tab on this side so that it matches up with the center score line. Then pull the other one over and glue it down to the other side. So you have this piece floating around in the middle here. So we'll pop that down like flat and just turn it over, pop that down flat, turn it over, and that will then just sit up there and pop this piece right out nicely on the front. So to pop this on, we're then going to pop a bit of this on. We're going to pop. To get this on there, we're going to put some glue onto there and put our little saying right into the centre of that, how we like it. Giving it a squeeze either side so that the glue is nice and even on that piece, that flap. And that's a card. Look at that. Oh wow. Even with all the hoo-haing about, I think we did a pretty good job. I'm happy with that. I hope you are. It will fold flat and this will fold over. You don't want anything that's going to go way out here. As long as it doesn't go past the same line as the rest of the card, this piece here is fine. So that's my card. It's called a Three Peaks card. Thank you, Sam, for the idea of the brace in the back. It really does make a big difference, as you can see. And I was really happy with the brace. I made my brace an inch longer than Sam made hers, for the simple reason that it can sit in further, so it's not showing as much, and it's a little bit easier to get your hand in there to do your writing. But overall, it's much sturdier than without it. If you'd like the written tutorial for this, and I will have it written properly with making sure that you have 2 pieces of each of these pieces of the designer series paper, if you're using designer series paper for the second section, and that if you put them together and cut them on the angle, you will get the correct pieces. I will also have all the measurements in inches as well as metric. So if you'd like the written tutorial, head over to Diane's Den for stamping, crafting and tutorials. Love to see you there. If you've enjoyed today's bit of a muck up here, just among the thunderstorm, just leave me a comment. I do love to hear from people. If you like my projects, please subscribe so that I can keep giving you more and more people can see them that way. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now. I just popped back into now to let you know, just the storm has passed, that I finished off the card with a little ribbon on the front and a couple of diamantes on the here. Oh, they're called gold glitter enamel dots. So just finishing it off just gives it that little bit more, and I still love it. And I'm sorry that I messed you all around with it today. I think the storm has just been getting worse and worse all afternoon, and there you go. I'm sorry. See you later. Bye.